In this video we are going to look at this quadratic expression that we need to write in that form, in a vertex form. Maybe we can say that is vertex form. Let's rewrite this. We have x squared plus 2x plus 4. Now actually what we have to do to this quadratic expression to bring it in that form, it means we have to complete square. If you do not know the method of how to complete square, I have made a video. You can scroll up or down and search for a video that I made on completing square, and then you can familiarize yourself. But we are still going to do it here. But in this case now, we are not going to solve for x, but let's see how it works. Now what we need to know is that there are two ways on how we can actually have this. Sometimes here they can put a outside the bracket. We should keep in mind that the a is the value or the coefficient of x squared. In our case here, the coefficient of x squared is 1. That means in our case the final answer should have 1 outside the bracket, but we don't need to write the 1. Now how this works is that first let's put brackets around the terms that have x, and the constant, let's leave it out. There are so many methods that you can actually use to arrive the same form, but in this case I just want to focus on, I think I need to write it somewhere, on completing square. Completing square, that is the method that we are using in this video. Now how it works, now we need to identify our b value. Our b value in our case is the number that is in front of x. That means it's 2. That is our b value, and by rule that number we have to divide it by 2. That is the rule. Now what we get, 2 divided by 2, we get 1. Now that result we have to square it. That is the rule. Now if we had an improper fraction here that we cannot reduce to a whole number, and then we are ending up having a fraction here, you don't need to write it in decimal, leave it as a fraction. But in our case, in this example, we have a whole number, so we can square that the way it is. Now after that, we open the same bracket here, and then we write x squared plus 2x. Now to this 2x, that is where the bracket ends. Now inside the bracket we have to add that result that we have squared. Then we have 1 square. We close bracket, and then we write plus that 4 there, plus 4. Now inside the bracket here we added. Outside the bracket we now need to subtract the same thing that we added, which is 1 to the power 2. Now here we now have a perfect square inside the bracket. What we now have to do is we now have to factorize what we have here. And to factorize that, we don't need to do a lot of things. We should focus on the terms that have the square. Then we can open a bracket, and that bracket we have to square it. And then what we do, we write x. Although it's squared, we only write x. And we write the 1. Although it's squared, we should only write 1. In between here, we bring this sign, which is plus. After that, we can now work out this. 4 minus 1 to the power 2 is just 1. Therefore, 4 minus 1 is positive 3. Then we have plus 3. And we are done. You can see what we have here is exactly in that form. And I said, although we have a there, but the coefficient of our x squared is 1. Therefore, our a is equal to 1, and we don't need to write 1. So we have 1 there. That's basically how you can write any quadratic expression in that form. Next time I'll do one when we have a coefficient of x squared is not equal to 1. So please subscribe to this channel so that you can watch more videos on mathematics.